Morning people, welcome back to F Politics. The UK economy just officially fell into recession. That's because GDP, the gross domestic product, the amount of money that's sloshing around the economy, be it people's wages, consumer spending, that fell by 0.4% in the second half of last year. Now before we get to the main thing I want to show you, let's hear Chancellor Jeremy Hunt's defence of this.
We always expected growth to be weaker while we prioritised tackling inflation. That means higher interest rates.
Now let's look at that because the government doesn't actually do anything to tackle inflation, the rise in prices. They all but admitted that 5 months ago when Tory Treasury Secretary John Glenn couldn't come up with a single thing they've done.
Can you name one aspect of the plan that has contributed to inflation coming down today?
Well, I certainly think if I was deciding as Chief Secretary with the Chancellor and Prime Minister to borrow a lot more money or to spend a lot more money, it would have an effect
but that's
on
things
inflation.
You haven't done.
They left the task of cutting inflation to the Bank of England, and the Bank of England tackles inflation by raising interest rates, how much it costs for us to borrow money for things like mortgages. And the Bank of England has repeatedly said that Brexit is making inflation worse, be it the cost of food or inflation more generally. So blaming our recession on the need to tackle inflation when the biggest policy that you guys have actually done, Brexit, has made inflation worse seems a little odd. And you're going to hear a lot of arguments in the next few days making excuses for the fact that our economy is shrinking, from people defending this government, defending Brexit, but there really is only one video that you need to watch.
And would membership of the single market be something that would boost growth and change our current economic outlook?
I think having unfettered trade with our neighbours and countries all over the world is very beneficial to growth. I don't think it's the right way to boost growth.
That's the Chancellor, the guy in charge of the economy, admitting that if the UK signed up to the EU single market, the rule system of the EU, i.e. undoing the lie that Brexit was sold on in 2016,
absolutely nobody is talking about threatening our place in the single market.
Then our economy would be growing faster. And let's be clear, this guy has known this for a while. In 2016, he said, our NHS needs a strong economy, not a Brexit recession. And that recession means lower living standards. The Resolution Foundation says Britain has fallen into recession and a far deeper living standards downturn. Now here are some of the arguments that you'll hear today. Oh, but Brexit couldn't possibly have done all this damage. It's not all Brexit. Nobody's saying it is. We're saying that things would be better if not for Brexit or if we rejoin the EU single market, which is what you just heard the Tory Chancellor admit. The second thing you'll hear is, oh, but Germany's in recession, so it can't be Brexit. Sorry, is the reason Germany's in recession because it has full trade access to all of its neighbours? No. Then Germany being in recession doesn't prove that Brexit isn't hurting us. It would be like saying, oh, but that guy over there, he drinks water and he got cancer, so my decision to stop drinking water was clearly the right one. What? If Dave decides to stop drinking water because Heinrich got cancer, Dave's a fucking idiot. Especially when the people who told Dave to stop drinking water have admitted that it's making his organs shut down.
Brexit was more traumatic, I think, for this sector than many others.
But we're losing people from London permanently. They're going to take up residence in other European countries with European citizenship because they can't operate, they can't pursue their careers.
So why have we got the significant reduction in trade intensity that stayed low, whereas others have come back?
Yeah, as I said, without a doubt, we're changing our trading relationship with the EU, and that means a different set of controls and things that people will have to do, and that will obviously have an impact, and that, I'm sure, is a big part of the reason why this is happening.
You might even hear weird arguments like this.
As I understand it, the ONS have said the economy would be 4%. It's not shrinking by 4%, but it's 4% less big than it would have been.
Yes.
So that isn't, strictly speaking, making people poor. Well, it just means that they're less better off than they would have been. Well, I know I'm splitting hairs here.
Yeah, but given that right now, I think it's half of low-income families are skipping meals to feed their kids, given that the OBR says that this is the sharpest fall in living standards ever recorded, every little bit counts. I don't want to steal from Tesco, but it's kind of important.
Very good.
It's also funny hearing the same people who said that Brexit would change everything about our country suddenly turn around and say, no, it couldn't have had that much of an impact. And again, rejoining the EU single market won't solve everything in our economy. But if you're looking at a politician and you're trying to decide whether to trust them, if that politician can see that you and millions of other families are struggling to stay warm and fed, and they know that doing X, rejoining the EU single market, would give you a better chance of being able to pay your bills, but they're simply refusing to do that, you shouldn't trust them. I'm Femi. Make sure you follow F Politics so politics doesn't F you. Have a great week.